Welcome back to second part of our mini series of how to finish your knitting, and this is coming from Tiverton Bead and Wool Shop on our Bead and Wool Tube channel. So as I said to you in the first part, that the only way how I stitch up all my knitting, and it is nearly the only way how I know it, is using a mattress stitch. And I use it for all sorts of purposes, and I found that if your knitting is nice and even, and especially if you're doing stockinette stitch, then you can achieve the best possible result. And as I will show you later more close up, like this young lady, which is kind of competing for the space on the camera, has this dress which is done in a 4-ply cotton, stitched up all the way. Can you see there? Just about, it's nearly invisible, but I will show you more close up later on. But yeah, as I said, stockinette stitch, it works perfectly fine, and it works nearly ideal actually. So if you look on this cardigan, which is quite chunky knit, as you can see, so there is the side seam of the cardigan. See how good you could be? And there is the inside, which again looks very neat and tidy. Yes, obviously to get the inside nice and tidy as well, you need to do nice edges, so you can't have like wobbly edges on your knitted piece. But even if you do have a wobbly edges on your knitted piece, you still can make the outside look nearly perfect. And this one as well is stitched up in the same way on the Raglan sleeves here, where you can see there, that is all stitched up in mattress stitch. And inside you can see the seam is again, it forms a little kind of ridge, but the ridge is very nice and even. Sometimes if you use garter stitch, the stitching will be more visible, but I still think you can achieve really nice result. And like this little cardie, right? Again, mattress stitch I used here, and on the other side, as you can see, there is a little bit more visible seam, but there's not much you can do about that. But as far as it looks, on their undersleeve again, but inside, again on the garter stitch, it will not give you such a nice ridge, but it's neat and tidy, reasonably tidy, I would say. And this one is one of the, again, very unforgiving pieces, which is a white garter stitch cardie. And again, there is the seam, which again you can say that, yes, you can see it. I think the point sometimes is, like, especially in a garter stitch, my point is you can't make it invisible, but you can make it really neat and tidy. And as far as it's tidy, I don't mind if I see the seam. And again, inside, it's reasonably tidy, so it's not like just over stitched randomly. So, and how do you do it? I will show you in a second part. One thing which I nearly lost it. What I would like to show you as well is my favorite stitching up needles. And I know you can get like quite large plastic ones, but my favorites come from Clover. And they come as a set of 3. Yes, to compare with plastic ones, which you might get somewhere even for £1, £1.99 for 2-3 needles. These ones, I think, are around £4.50 to £4.90 for a set. But it comes with a nice storage container, and you have 3 sizes. And these ones are really, really nice needles. The smallest one I would use maybe only for lace fade. This one, the medium, I would use for 4-ply and maybe even double knitting. And this big one then would be for the chunky, super chunky. But it's nice needle, it's nice and even stitching. It doesn't catch the yarn, so I really, really like these. And of course I like the little container because then I can't lose them, can I? Right, so we will start with the other thing which I would like to show you, you know, again, when we talk about mattress stitch, if you have to combine, nearly got my eye out. If you have to combine the pattern and stockinette stitch, again, can you see the seam here? No, nearly not. Not from outside. You can see the seam from inside, but not from outside. So that's how good you can get. All right? And how to do it, I will show you in a minute. And I will use my little kind of strips I showed you last time, and I will use contrasting yarn so you see what I'm doing. And honestly, there is nothing more to it. It's just that one stitch. All right? So keep watching. And as I have told you before, the mattress stitch is just one of those very simple stitches which has hundreds and hundreds of tutorials. But basically what the idea is that you pick same amount of stitches from one side of the knitting and other side of the knitting. And all my trick is, or I think it's very important, is, it's not really my trick, but I think it's one of the most important things when you do mattress stitch. You pick your, what I would call runaway, and especially if you're doing stockinette stitch and you want to join them perfectly. And by runaway, what I mean is, let's say you can see how the stitches form the road. And you can pick any road you like. You can pick this gap, you can pick this gap, you can go closer to the edge. But once you picked your gap, you stick with it. You don't venture and don't put stitches on either side. You only pick the stitches there, right? And by that I mean I will start from the beginning. As I haven't attached the thread properly, it will be a bit, the beginning will be a bit of struggle, but all I'm trying to do is I'm picking the same amount of stitches, and now I'm in a garter stitch area, which is kind of less forgiving, but it's still, you will see how quickly it becomes a nice piece. Right, and what I'm trying to do is to pick the stitches the same amount every time. On a garter stitch project, I would pick, let's say, row by row. As you can see what I'm doing, I'm picking, let's say, the row where you can see the purl stitches, and I'm trying to match it with the other side. Right, and now when you pull the thread, can you see it kind of goes together nicely? And if you have same amount of rows on both sides of the knitting, you should be able to do your joint and connection, and you shouldn't be losing any rows or, you know, trying to gather them together. Now then, we are now on the stockinette stitch part. And now I need to pick my runway. And I have picked it there. And once I have picked, like here, can you see where the red thread is going out? I always put my needle in there and I go under 2 stitches. You can call it stitch, or you can see the threads going. I pick up 2. You can pick up 1 or you can pick up 2. But whatever way you do always the same. So as I've been lazy and I picked up 2, I pick up 2 on this side, can you see? And always in the same gap. Oh, that's all we needed, is a knot. And again, where the thread's been in before, 2 stitches. And same on this side. And can you see how it's just locking together without any effort, without any thinking, looking back. Right, so now I've been picking all the same, but I don't know how else to call it. It's a runway. And now I will show you what happens. Let's say I should be picking my yarn there. What happens if I go over? And I go, even if I go in the same place another side, can you see how immediately it starts to show? It just kind of starts to look. Can you see how here suddenly something happened? So don't do that. This side seems all even, but you see the yellow one where I deliberately stepped over? And now, oh, I have gone too far, now I need to come out again. And you will just create another place where it kind of looks odd. So keep going straight. 2 stitches from one side, 2 stitches from other side, and you can see how quickly I have done this piece. And it already looks, to my eye, okay, if I wouldn't have done the deliberate mistake. So this is basically it. I have nothing else to say. So that's basically it about the mattress stitch. All the magic, all the kind of secrets revealed. There is no secret really. So I would like to thank you very much for watching us. I hope you learned something, and I hope now all your knitting will be stitched up absolutely perfectly. And yeah, of course, do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more. And we would like to thank all our new subscribers. And of course, all the details below in the contacts. If you need any information, just send us a message or comment below. And yeah, the last thing which I would like to show you, I hope I can, is this one, which I nearly forgot. Can you see this one is the stockinette stitch in 4-ply cotton and stitched up perfectly using exactly same method. And now you can actually see, when I was talking about runway, how important it is to keep the same lines. So there we go. So that's all the knowledge, and next time I will show you how you pick up stitches for your necklines or wherever you need to pick up stitches, because that is another thing where people say to me a lot of times, oh, I can't possibly do that. No, we can. Okay, so keep watching.